Welcome back to CU Boulder's Guide to the FAFSA. If you're completing the financial information section without parent information, the steps we cover here will also help you complete the student tax information section. The questions for both parents and students are the same.
Both you and your parents should have your 2016 federal income tax returns handy when completing this section. Here, select whether or not your parents completed a 2016 federal income tax return. Then select what your parents' tax filing status was on their tax return. If the filing status is different from the marital status reported earlier, a message will appear asking you to double-check your responses.
You'll be asked some questions that'll determine whether or not your parents can use the built-in Irs Data Retrieval.
If your parents answer no to these questions, they'll be given the option to import their tax info directly from the IRS.
We strongly recommend using data retrieval if you're eligible. Irs Data Retrieval simplifies the application process and can minimize documentation your school may request from you later.
If you choose to use Irs Data Retrieval, you'll be notified that you are leaving FAFSA on the web. Indicate whether you're a Parent 1 or Parent 2. Then enter the parent's, personal FSA ID and proceed to the IRS site. On the IRS website, check the box to transfer my tax information into the FAFSA. Then, click Transfer Now to return to the FAFSA.
It's as simple as that. To protect your data and enhance security, questions populated with IRS tax info will not display, but will be marked with Transferred from the IRS. If you are confident that you filed your tax return correctly, the tax information imported will be correct. If you feel there is an error in this data, you must contact our office.
For step-by-step instructions on how to use Irs Data Retrieval, visit CU Boulder's financial aid website for a video tutorial.
The next screen will ask you to specify the type of tax return your parents filed. Keep in mind that if you use Irs Data Retrieval, many fields may already be populated. The following questions refer to items found on your parents' tax return, or W-2. Line numbers will differ depending on the type of tax return filed, so be sure to follow the instructions provided in the help and hints.
The next question on the FAFSA asks for the amounts of your parents' wages in 2016. This info is on W-2 forms that your parents received from their employers. If your parents filed jointly and use the Irs Data Retrieval, they will need to enter these numbers manually. Next, you'll be asked to indicate your parents' dislocated worker status. Refer to Help and Hints for more information about who may be considered a dislocated worker. You may also be asked to specify whether your parents or anyone in your parents' household received federal benefits in the past 2 years.
Please note that the Supplemental Security Income is not the same as Social Security benefits. Supplemental Security Income is generally paid to persons with disabilities.
Depending on your answers to the previous questions, you may be asked whether your parents are eligible to file a 1040A or 1040EZ.
Parents who are self-employed, itemized deductions, or make over $100,000 are generally not eligible to file a 1040A or 1040EZ. If you're not sure, it's okay to select Don't Know.
On the next screen, continue to fill in your parents' tax return info. Be careful. Parents commonly report the income tax amount incorrectly. Only report the amount for the field specified in Help and Hints.
This series of questions ask for your parents' additional financial information and annual untaxed income.
Make sure you read each line carefully and use annual amounts from 2016. Check all that apply and provide amounts.
Only include grants, scholarships, and combat pay if they were reported to the IRS in your parents' tax return. And only report child support paid for children who are not included in your household.
Payments to tax-deferred pension and savings plans are reported in Box 12 of your parents' W-2s. Make sure you only include amounts with the codes D, E, F, G, H, and S. These questions are not found on your parents' tax return. You should ask your parents if they receive child support, living allowances, veterans' non-education benefits, or other untaxed income such as workers' compensation or disability. Do not include other untaxed income that is listed in Help and Hints.
You may then be asked if your parents' assets exceed a specific amount. The amount is determined by information you previously entered and will differ from student to student. Assets include banking accounts and investment real estate, such as rental properties. For more info about what qualifies as an asset, click the Assets link. If you answer yes, you'll need to provide your parents' asset information. The amounts reported should reflect values as the day you file your FAFSA. Report the total current balance of all cash savings and checkings accounts held by your parents.
This next question asks for the net worth of your parents' current investments. Investments include any real estate owned other than the home in which your parents live, trust funds, money market funds, mutual funds, stocks and bonds, and CDs. Parent investments also include education savings accounts, even if they are under the student's name. The net worth of an investment is the current value of the investment minus the related debt.
In this last question, report the net worth of your parents' business or farm, if applicable. Do not include the value of a family farm if your parents live on and operate it. And do not include the value of a business if it has fewer than 100 full-time employees.
Well done. The hard part is over. Repeat these same steps in the Student Financial Information section and then move on to Step 6 for instructions on signing and submitting your FAFSA.